Hello, everyone. I'm Yasmin, family relationship coach, and I'm so happy to have you join me today for a little Q&A session I'll be sharing. This is another perfectly timed question as we finish the year, asking about how to regain focus and resilience for the new year. So, as always, before we start, remember to embrace what you like from my suggestions and advice, but always listen to your own instincts too. You know better than anyone all the parts of your relationship, the character of your family member, the history of interaction, and the history of responses you've received in the past. And because of that truth, I always like to encourage everyone to use your personal judgment when listening to my suggestions or the suggestions from anyone else. Always trust your personal knowledge and have confidence in your own thoughts too. And always take steps that you feel comfortable with or that work for you. Don't ever put pressure on yourself to follow my advice or the advice of anyone else. Each of us are at different stages within our family relationships. Each of us have our different levels of comfort, confidence, and strengths. And each of us have different characters we're dealing with in our family member. So please, when listening to suggestions and ideas, always take into consideration your own feelings, your own comfort levels, and also what works for you. And also remember that these Q&A discussions are not intended to replace therapy or counseling. So if you are feeling very overwhelmed and having trouble coping, then please always remember the option to seek counseling or therapy if needed and really look after yourself. There's only so much we can cover in a little discussion, so don't ever feel afraid to seek further help as needed. So I'll read out the question for all of us and then we can start some discussion. So I have that here next to me. So the questions sent in that I'm choosing for today. I'm feeling very overwhelmed by my dysfunctional family situation and have reached a point where I feel lost, resigned, and confused by it all. I really want to get back on track this new year, and I'm wondering if you could please help me get focused and point out where to start. Well, I'm really, really glad that this great question was asked. Especially at the end of the year, we can really easily feel lost and worn out by what is happening in our family. So, firstly, like always, I'm so sorry to hear that you're feeling overwhelmed by your family. Don't feel like a failure for feeling this way. Living with conflict in family is one of the most exhausting traumas to live with, but there are steps you can definitely take to try to bring peace to your life and to your situation. So, let's look at those now. And what I'm going to talk about might seem very basic and straightforward, but when considering how to regain focus and clarity for the new year, it's really good to keep things as straightforward as possible. Often we make it more complicated because we're focusing on too many details. So when thinking about the new year in particular, and how best to regain focus and strength, it's a good idea to start with boundaries. And this can be personal boundaries or relationship boundaries. It's important to establish clear boundaries with your family members or within your own environment and within your own personal space. This means deciding what behavior is acceptable and what is not, and also what environment nurtures your well-being. And if you're in a position to do so, then you can communicate your boundaries with your family or just regain strength by living with a new environment and with new set parameters. Setting boundaries can help you feel more in control of the situation and can also help your family members understand what you need and expect from them. And like I said, boundaries can be a personal thing that nurture your own well-being. So, for example, staying away from social media if it's upsetting, or limiting the time you spend thinking about your situation, or creating a very safe and protective personal space for yourself. Boundaries are a very important tool for well-being, so they're something that we should definitely be thinking about and planning for the new year. Another important step is to seek support. It's okay to reach out for help when you're feeling overwhelmed. Staying connected to support groups, for example, stay connected to close friends or loved ones, and also consider talking to a therapist or counselor if needed. Like we know, support can provide you with a safe space to express your emotions and can also help you develop coping strategies or even just provide strength from not feeling alone, which is invaluable in the world of family struggles. Always remember as well to practice self-care, and this is another very essential thing to focus on for the start of the new year. Taking care of yourself is crucial when you're dealing with difficult family situations or ongoing trauma in family. So make sure to prioritize your own well-being by engaging in activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. And for the new year, remembering to re-establish those in your routine. So this might include things like getting enough sleep, exercising, eating well, really prioritizing and finding time for relaxation and what you enjoy doing. I also want to remind everyone to always be thinking about your well-being and reevaluate your options as needed. And remember that nothing is set in stone. And this is a very important thing to remember when thinking about the new year. If the situation with your family is truly unbearable, it may be necessary to distance yourself from them for a while you regain your own personal strength. And this could involve limiting your contact with certain family members or creating some distance for a while. Or if reconciliation is your goal, also taking some time on your own, possibly, while you think through the steps to take. And even though this can be a really difficult decision and you can feel unloving, possibly, it may be necessary for your own well-being. And I know there are some members in our community that are struggling with very difficult family members. So time out could possibly be needed in the beginning of the new year to really regain strength and focus again. And it's not a malicious act to take some time for yourself if needed. And it's also not a permanent act. So always remember that our healing journey is flexible, and don't put pressure on yourself to have everything mapped out for the new year by January the 1st. And I also want to take a moment to focus on your personal well-being as well, because like we know, this can often be neglected when we're facing conflict in our family. But it's also one of the greatest tools that will help in all other areas of our healing journey. And also, if reconnection is your goal, having personal strength will very much aid that journey. So when facing the new year, it's also important to focus on well-being and personal mental health too. So set goals, and this doesn't have to be lengthy or involved. It can be really helpful to set specific goals for yourself in the new year. These could be related to all that we just mentioned, your physical health, mental health. It could be your career, relationships, or any other area of your life. It doesn't also just have to be in the area of your family. It could be for any areas in your life. Having goals are going to help you really establish focus, strength, and clarity for the new year. Setting goals or creating vision for the new year really can help bring a sense of order and calm to our minds and help us feel less overwhelmed. Even just creating a list of areas you want to focus on or work through can really be a great starting place for starting the year off with a stronger sense of what steps to take. I also want to remind you to practice mindfulness, especially when it comes to living with struggles in family. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment in a non judgmental way. And it's very useful when living with family struggles or separation in family because our thoughts can often sway to the past or to worry for the future. So, mindfulness really helps bring us back to the present moment, and it can really help reduce stress and increase feelings of calm and well being. And there are so many ways to practice mindfulness, such as through meditation, yoga, or simply taking a few minutes each day to focus on your breath and pay attention to your surroundings. And mindfulness practice are also something that you can find so many examples of for free on YouTube or online. Now, another important focus for well-being is to seek out positive experiences and create a positive environment for yourself. Try to focus on activities and experience that bring you joy and fulfillment. This might include hobbies, social activities, volunteering. We all know the truth that surrounding yourself with positive people and experiences and creating a positive environment can have a big impact on your overall being, and especially when living with struggles in your family, which is can be a constant present. Creating a positive environment is essential. Also, remember to take breaks as needed. It's important to take breaks and give yourself time to relax and recharge. And this is so essential to remember because we can really face the new year with over enthusiasm and over ambition. But The need being to also take time to rest and recharge every step of the way. So, really make sure to schedule regular breaks into your New Year's schedule and use that time to do things that you enjoy or that help you relax. And also take care of your physical health. Your physical health is closely tied to your overall well-being, and you hear me say this all the time, that our physical health is the foundation for everything in life. So make sure to get enough sleep, eat a healthy diet, and engage in regular physical activity or movement. It doesn't have to be strenuous activity. Even just stretching and gentle movement can bring wonderful health benefits to our mind and our body. And all these habits can help really improve your mood, energy levels, and overall health and resilience, which is essential for being able to cope with and survive family struggles. Also, our physical health can be neglected over the holidays. So it's a really good area to focus on and reinstate when starting the new year. Our health really is the foundation for all else in life. So please remember to take time to prioritize this and really look after yourself as you start the new year. So I hope those suggestions are helpful as you focus on what is needed for your well-being in the new year and really help you focus and regain clarity, focus, well-being, peace of mind as you walk into the new year. Like I said, I know these steps seem like obvious reminders, but the more we go over these basic elements, the more they seem like easy things to do. And the fact that they are straightforward means that it's easy to regain clarity and feel less lost about facing the new year. And they really are the foundation for having success in all else that you want to achieve. And as always, remember to be kind to yourself and remember that healing journeys are flexible and you do not need to know all the answers by January the 1st. Focus on your well-being, focus on looking after yourself, and the rest will happen naturally. And like I said in previous Q&A discussions this month, be mindful that this is the holidays. So everything we do should be done with the thinking that we do not need to know all the answers. And we are taking the steps needed to get through this time with strength, and we can revisit anything and everything after the holidays. So for now, do what's needed. Start thinking on the new year and what your goals are if you wish, but take small steps. Look after yourself. Be kind to yourself and have no guilt for taking the steps needed for your own personal self-care. So I hope that helps, and I hope that helps everyone for the holidays and as we approach the new year. Again, I'll be sharing more holiday-focused Q&A discussion over the next few weeks, so I hope to stay connected with everyone and for all of us to make it through the holidays together. Thank you for being with me today. Sending love to all.